everyone, and thank you again for joining me for math. Today in math, we're going to be focusing on money, but more specifically, just focusing on dimes. So we're going to be practicing counting dimes. So let's review what a dime looks like and how much a dime is worth. So here is a dime, and a dime is worth 10 cents. We have been practicing using our calculator to calculate dimes. So when we plug it into the calculator, it would look like 0.10, okay, which indicates that the dime is worth 10 cents. To get us started, we've been practicing counting by tens. So as a whole group, we're going to count by tens all the way till we get to 100, or also known as what we've been practicing when 100 equals $1. So let's all begin by counting by 10. So as I say, you will repeat back. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Also, it equals $1. So what we're going to do is I have two problems that we're going to work with together. And we're going to determine how much 3 dimes is worth and how much 5 dimes is worth by counting by tens. Okay? So over here, let's first begin by everything that we're going to work with today is a dime. So we know that everything is going to be worth 10 cents. So we have to count by tens in order to get our total. So over here, I have 3 dimes. So I'm going to have to count by 10 3 times. So I can either use my number line up top here, or if I remember counting by tens off of the top of my head, I can do that. A helpful suggestion would be you could copy this number line down on a piece of paper. So if you have a blank piece of paper, or even on the back of the worksheet that we're going to be using today, you could write count by tens on the back. So you could write 10 to 100 to help you. Or you could pause the video here as you do your worksheet and then use the number line that I have provided here to guide you with your worksheet. But first, let's practice these 2 problems together. So let's first start by counting. So we have to count by tens 3 times, starting with 10. So 10, 20, 30. So 3 dimes is worth 30 cents. Now if I do it on my number line, I have to count by 10 3 times. So if I was on my number line, I'd go 10, 20, 30. So 3 dimes is worth 30 cents. Okay? Now let's move over to the next problem. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dimes. So I have to count by tens 5 times. Starting with 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now, if I wanted to use my number line, I'd have to count by tens 5 times. So on my number line, I'd go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5 dimes is worth 50 cents. Counting by tens. So materials that you are going to need to help us practicing counting dimes is in your packet. You're going to find the worksheet that says Math Counting Dimes. It's going to have 6 problems here, and it's going to have a section over here at the bottom where you will have to cut out. So materials that you are going to need is this worksheet, scissors, and then glue, and if you do not have glue, tape. So you would glue your answer above. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to complete 2 problems on this worksheet together before I send you off to do it on your own with some extra directions. So I'd like everybody to get out this worksheet and put your first and last name at the top. Do not worry about cutting anything out at the bottom yet and gluing it. We're going to save that for the last thing that we're doing. Right now, if you need a little bit of extra time finding this worksheet in your packet, you can pause the video here, and then when you have it in front of you, you can press play again. So I forgot to mention too, my mistake is you're also going to need a pencil for this. So your materials would be your worksheet, your pencil, scissors, and then glue, and if you don't have glue, tape. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to put our first and last name at the top where we see the word name. So I I will do that as you will put your first and last name on your worksheet. Okay. So now we're going to complete 2 problems together, and then you will complete the last 4 on your own as well as the cutting and gluing. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the first box. We're going to count how many dimes we see in the box. That will determine how many times we have to count to 10. So over here I'm going to count how many dimes I have here, and we can do this together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 dimes, so I have to count by tens 7 times. Okay? So I'm going to use the number line, and I'm going to have to take my worksheet down so you can see it. So we have to count 7 times up to 10. So let's start over here at 10. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So 7 dimes is worth 70 cents. So what I'm going to do is in that little box where it says paste here, right here, I'm going to write 70 cents right here. Right on over that print, 70 cents. 7 dimes is worth 70 cents, okay? And then we're going to move over and we're going to complete this problem together. First by counting how many dimes we see. That will tell us how many times we have to count up by 10 using our number line. So let's first count our dimes. I see 1, 2, 3 dimes. So I have to count by 10 3 times, starting with our number line. So 10, 20, 30. So 3 dimes is worth 30 cents. So I'm going to write 30 cents in that box here. 30 cents. And now your job is you're going to do the same thing with the last 4 problems. First, identifying how many dimes are in the box. That will determine how many times you have to count out by 10. Use the number line to help you, and then write that answer in the little box. Once you're done answering the rest of the 4 questions, you are then going to take your scissors and cut out the answers below. And then you will glue your answers in the box up top. So for example, after I'm done cutting out all the boxes below, I would find 70 cents and match it to the 70 cents here. Then I would find 30 cents and match it to the 30 cents up here. So you will complete the last 4 problems on your own, cut out your answers at the bottom, and then glue your answers to match your answers up top. But before I leave you to do that on your own, I want to count by tens with you all again. Remember, it would be helpful that maybe on the back of your paper here, you can write your number line up to 10. So I would copy this number line that I have here on the back of your paper. So we could actually, you know what, let's just do it together right now. Let's turn your paper over, and we're going to create a number line from 10 to 100 on the back of your paper to help you. First by writing 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and then in parentheses we can do 1.00, which indicates $1. So then you would use this number line on the back of your paper to help solve your problem. So just like we did here, we knew that there was 3 dimes, so I had to count up to 10 3 times. So I used my number line. 10, 20, 30, which gave us our answer here. 3 dimes is 30 cents. Same thing with here. We counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dimes, which means I had to count by 10 5 times, starting with our number line on 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, which gave us our amount here. 5 dimes is worth 50 cents. So remember, you're going to complete the last 4 problems on your own, counting your dimes, using the number line on the back of the paper, writing that amount in the box, and then cutting out the amounts down here and gluing them and matching them up top. So let's just review counting by 10 before I send you off to try the rest on your own. Here we go. We're working with a dime. A dime is worth 10 cents. Counting by tens, repeat back with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, which equals $1. After you're done completing this worksheet, please ask your parent or an older sibling or an adult to send me a picture of your hard work. After you are done with your math, it's going to be time for our last and final activity of the day, life skills. See you back really soon.